So we have breaking news in the NBA, Abdalla. The Chicago Bulls are firing Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley. They've released a statement. This is done. It's finalized. The Bulls are firing their front office. So Arturas Karnisovas was the president of basketball operations, and Mark Eversley was the GM. They're out after 6 seasons, and it's a surprise to us that the Bulls have made the move before the season ended. They've got 4 games left. And we were talking about it with the timeline with Billy Donovan on whether or not he would take another opportunity, perhaps the North Carolina job before Malone took it, that were the Bulls going to do something before the weekend? AK and Eversley are out for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, and I think this is huge given the timing is extremely interesting, given that Michael Malone just took the North Carolina job and just accepted that job. And we talked about how, Billy Donovan's interest in that job, and maybe he wants to stay in the NBA and maybe looking to get a bump up by the Bulls. The Bulls released a statement, like you mentioned, from the Bulls president and CEO, Michael Reinsdorf. I want our fans to know that I hear you and understand your frustration. I feel it as well. I know this will take time, and I'm fully committed to getting this right. Now, does that mean that Billy Donovan is going to get the bump up to president of basketball operations, and he's going to get a Brad Stevens type role? And this was the dominoes were falling, was him finding out that he was going to get this, saying no to North Carolina. North Carolina hires Michael Malone. The Bulls announced this. All of this kind of happens at the same time as all these moving pieces are happening. Now we await the end of the regular season because Billy Donovan is still coaching the team for the rest of the week until the regular season ends. And then we'll find out from the Bulls and Michael Reinsdorf, the president and CEO, what happens with Billy Donovan and whether or not they're doing a full search for a full new front office, or Billy Donovan will be a part of that front office searching for a GM and a new head coach.
Yeah, and I think that's what's fascinating about this. You and I have been covering this story from this angle because we are broadcasting live each and every day from Chicago. So we are hearing what's going on here. And we have been pointing out that something may be happening at the end of the season because this season's been so bad for the Chicago Bulls, and they continue to go backwards. So we've been keeping our eyes on this, and the fact that all of this played out in this fashion, like you said, Malone taking the North Carolina job, what we were hearing locally that Billy wanted to stay in the NBA, the suggestions from the Sun-Times in Chicago for a couple weeks now that maybe Billy could be bumped upstairs and Billy Donovan could be the one running the team. I mean, hell, we talked about it with Raj earlier today. What would you rather do? Take the North Carolina job or run the Chicago Bulls? You said take the Carolina job. I said run the Chicago Bulls. So, I mean, I think everything coming into play is all connected. I don't think this is just random the way this has kind of worked out. Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. Pollen season is here, but a dirty car doesn't have to be. Wash it away with Tidal Wave Auto Spa for a quick wash and that clean car happy feeling. Find a location at TidalWaveAutospa.com. So the breaking news is the Chicago Bulls are firing Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley. And let me just let a national audience understand the situation here. 6 years, and these guys did nothing. They only went backwards, progressively got worse. They tried to cobble together one run of putting some players together, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, and it came to nothing. They were terrible. They went over a year without making a trade because they were content hanging out, doing absolutely nothing. Arturas Karnisovas is the worst executive in the NBA. Their front office was the worst in the NBA, and they were allowed to just get by with it because Michael Reinsdorf was asleep at the wheel. Clearly, he woke up. He gave a message to the fans today, and it's fantastic that now, hopefully, they can get someone else to come in here and run the team. And I know the rumors that have been out there. Bob Myers is the name. People are going to point to Bob Myers. I think also Mike Dunleavy, who's running the Warriors right now, is the name. Although I haven't been super impressed with the way that he's ran Golden State in the last couple of seasons. And if you want to stay in the Bay, does Steve Kerr have a new contract?
Man,
I'm just asking.
You imagine?
I'm just asking. I'm just putting it out there because I think there's going to be deep connections to that type of thinking.
There'd be another parade.
I
They'd
would
throw
hope.
another world championship parade if Steve Kerr got the job here. You kidding me?
I'm just throwing some names out there because this is great news. If you're a Bulls fan, if you love the Jordan era, if you liked when this team actually mattered and they actually tried, hopefully that's the direction they're going to go in going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, for Bulls fans, this is a good day because the team might be finally going in the right direction.
We will talk to you tomorrow at noon. Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show is coming up next here on Westwood One Sports.